Well, do you ever get the sense of that deja vu feeling? So when you look at the TaylorMade P790, that definitely springs to mind. So I thought I'd break it up this week and do a little club review. So the P790, apart from appearance, as you can see, there's just a slight subtle adjustment in the look. The lofts are exactly the same. So I've got two 8 irons in the P790 22 and the P790 23. Exactly the same shaft, same grip, lie, standard, everything the same. So I've warmed up, I've hit quite a few shots down there. My speed is definitely getting up, so that's a bonus. So there'll be an update on that next week. So I was just hitting a few shots down there and I was hitting them around 83, 84 miles an hour. So I'm quite pleased about that. So I'll show you, I'll hit these down there and there's very little in it. So I am starting with the P790 2022 model. Now, I do think it's a good iron. So overall, I think it's a good iron. So if you're looking for a new set and you're looking at that sort of price point, then I would definitely put it in the mix. To be honest, if you're thinking of changing from the 22 to the 23 and you just want something shiny, that's fair enough. But performance-wise, I'll show you. So this is the 22. So I hit a couple down there, let's see if it's a decent strike or not, and then I hit the 23. So at the moment I'm pulling it a little bit, but you know, that's quite a reasonable strike. Felt quite nice off the face. Quite a decent launch on it. So 26 launch, that's okay. Backspin 4,500, so that's okay. So I've got some flight on it, and I carried it 150, which is quite a reasonable hit for an 8 iron. Obviously quite an aggressive loft. You know, depends how old you are, but that's quite an aggressive loft. So right, let's have another go. As before, you know, the P790 looks nice behind the ball, it's nice and playable. I would say it's fairly forgiving, so that's quite cool. So that wasn't a particularly good strike, and it's still, you know, it's done right. It's so, like I said, for the look of the club, the look behind the ball, I'd say it's fairly forgiving, and it definitely gets the ball up there. So we'll do one more with this one. So I've had one fairly at the target and pulled one slightly to the left. But I said, yeah, it's all right, yeah, it's fine. So one in between the two, quite a reasonable strike. Speed was a bit slower on that, but did all right. Still got out there to about 150, so I think that's, you know, that's okay. So right, now let's have a go over the 23. Now, as you said, deja vu feeling. It looks slightly different in regard to the back of the club, but the look behind the ball, well, there's not a lot in it. So I think if I was swapping and changing quite a few times, I think they would just blend into one. So it's down to whether it feels different off the face in comparison to the 22. Right, so we go. Performance wise, there's nothing in it. That is just purely down to me of how I'm swinging it and what strike I'm putting on it. So quite a nice contact, a little bit left, a little bit further than the 22, but that's definitely me. I've just struck it better, swung faster, so that was 84 miles an hour, which I'm quite pleased about, but that was faster than the 22. So that's not the club, that's me. Slightly different feel, I would say it feels slightly, very slightly harder off the face. So if there is a difference, they've just made a slightly different feel to the club. So let's hit two more, and I think we know the conclusion, but let's have a go. Definitely need to work on that pull, don't I? Another good strike, similar sort of distance, 155, which is faster, which is further than the 22, but like I said, my speed has gone up, so now up to 84. On the first couple I was down to 82. So that is definitely me, not the club. The launch is 24.8, so slightly lower launch, same sort of spin and carried further, but my club head speed is more and I struck it better. So you've got to take that into account. I've moved more efficiently, which has made the club potentially against a 22 look more efficient, but to be honest, it's not. So a good iron, worth changing from 22 to 23? Definitely not. But a good iron to put in a mix, it's nice and forgiving, produces a nice flight, good distance. So if you're looking at that sort of price point and you're comparing it and you're thinking, well, Mizuno, Titleist, Cobra, Ping, whichever one you're thinking, I would definitely put this in there. Right, any questions or comments, please send them through. Any questions you've got on the Taylor, any help that you would like, no problem at all. We can fit you at Salterman in South Wilts. They're in stock now. We've got a demo set, so you can take them out, give them a go, and see what you think. It's very personal preference. But as a whole, definitely a good club, like I said, but I don't think it's worth switching from 22 to 23. I look forward to seeing you next week from an update on the speed.